I'm sitting at a table in the corner of the cafe, fidgeting with the edge of a napkin, while watching Dasha nervously twirl her spoon in her coffee cup across from me. Her fingers are trembling, her lips pressed into a thin line. I haven't seen this side of Dasha in ages. She glances towards the door, then back to me, and there's something sharp as broken glass flickering in her eyes. "Vlad," she says softly, her voice low and slightly hoarse, like she's been up all night without sleep or crying. "Are you sure you want to know?" "I do," I reply, trying hard not to lose control. My hands clench into fists under the table on their own accord, but I force them to relax. "Dasha, I'm not stupid. You've been different for a month now. Just tell me straight." She looks away, staring off somewhere else, toward the pastry display case. Behind the glass, everything is neatly arranged, straight rows, bright colors. But between us, it's the opposite: chaos, cracks, words that cut like knives. Dasha sighs, and I see her shoulders slump, as if she's giving up. "Fine," she whispers quietly. "It's Misha." "Misha?" I repeat, feeling a lump rise in my throat. "What Misha? You don't know him." She finally meets my gaze, and there's a mix of guilt and defiance in her eyes. "He works with me. In accounting. Well, it just happened." I stay silent. 1 second, 2, 3. There's a buzzing sound in my head, like an old TV with static. Misha. Some guy named Misha from accounting. I imagine him, probably tall, with a neat haircut, wearing those ridiculous rolled-up shirt sleeves. Or maybe he's balding, with a potbelly but a charming smile? Who cares? He's not me. And Dasha, she was my wife. Was. "And how long has this been going on?" I ask, forcing myself not to yell. My voice sounds muffled, like underwater. 2 months. She drops her head, twisting the spoon harder. "At first, we were just having coffee after work. Then—" "Well, I understand." I nod, though inside I'm boiling. "And what about me? Am I supposed to sit home waiting for your overtime while you're out there drinking coffee with him?" "Don't start, Vlad." Dasha raises her head sharply, and her eyes sparkle. Tears or anger, I can't tell. "You've always been busy too. Soccer with friends, fixing cars, your mom calling every 5 minutes. What about me? I've felt alone, Vlad. I need someone who notices me." I lean back in my chair, looking at her, not recognizing her anymore. This is Dasha, my Dasha, whom we've been together 10 years with, moving heavy suitcases up to the 5th floor without an elevator when we first got married. She's blonde, always a little tousled, bites her nails when nervous. Afraid of heights, loves the smell of rain, hates it when I leave wet towels on the couch. But now, there's Misha. Like someone erased me from her life completely. "So what's next?" I ask, struggling not to break down. "You're with him now?" Am I out of the picture?
"I don't know, Vlad." She shakes her head, her voice shaking. "I'm confused. With him, it's easy. He listens. You stopped listening." "Stopped?" I almost laugh, but the laughter comes out bitter. "I've asked how you've been every day. It's you who kept quiet, Dasha. You withdrew into yourself." She falls silent, staring into her empty cup, and I see a tear sliding down her cheek. Small, but so heavy that I want to stand up and walk away. But I stay seated because right here, behind this worn-out cafe table smelling of freshly brewed espresso, my life is crumbling apart. We got married when we were 25. Back then, I worked construction. She did paperwork at some small firm. Lived in a rented one-bedroom apartment where the faucet leaked and drafts blew through gaps in winter. But we were happy. She'd make her famous meatballs. I'd fix whatever broke. Then came Anna, our daughter, and life sped up. I went to work at an auto repair shop. Dasha landed a job at a big company. Money started coming in. We moved to a 2-bedroom place, even bought a car. But something broke. Not immediately, gradually. I began staying late with friends. She stayed longer at work. Conversations turned into buy bread and don't forget to pick up Anna. Now there's Misha. Do you love him? I ask, my voice cracking. Dasha stays silent for far too long. Finally, she lifts her eyes, and I see confusion there. I don't know, she whispers. Maybe yes, maybe no. But with him, I feel alive, Vlad. With you, I'm bored. Those words hit me like a slap. I open my mouth to say something, but my throat dries up. A young couple enters the cafe. They're laughing, holding hands. Meanwhile, we're sitting here like strangers separated by a wall. What about Anna? I finally asked. Did you think about her? Of course I thought about her. Dasha nearly screams, but cuts herself short, glancing around. I think about her every day. But I can't live only for her, Vlad. I'm human too. Human, I echo, and something breaks inside. So am I then? Furniture? Come home, eat, sleep? You're twisting things again. She slams her hand on the table, making the cup rattle. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. It just did. And now, I don't know what to do. I look at her, her slender wrists, the freckle above her brow, the way she bites her lip, and realize I still love her. Still do. But this love feels like an old sweater, warm, familiar, but full of holes. Let's do this, I say, sounding tired. Think it over. Decide. I'll stay at my brother's for now. Anna can be with Mom. Dash. She starts, but I raise my hand. No need, Dasha. Think it through. Let me know later. I stand up, throw a few crumpled bills onto the table, and head for the exit. Outside, it's cold, wind blowing in my face, but I don't button my jacket. My mind keeps circling one thing, Misha. Some guy named Misha. While I thought we still had a chance. Dasha sits in the cafe another 10 minutes. I watch through the window, standing across the street. She stares into her empty cup, then pulls out her phone, typing something. Maybe texting him. Or maybe me. But I don't check. Not yet. Let her figure it out. As for me, I have no idea what to do. I walk down the street, not turning back, each step resonating in my chest like a hammer blow. The wind plays with my hair, sneaks under my coat, but I don't care. All I hear is her voice. With him, I'm alive. Alive. So with me, I'm dead? 10 years, and now it's all crossed out in one stroke. I turn into an alley darker, quieter. Need silence, but inside, it's noisy, like being on a construction site during shift change. My phone vibrates in my pocket. Pull it out. It's Dasha. Short message. Sorry. I stare at the screen, fingers frozen. How should I respond? Forgiven? Go to hell. Eventually, I stuff the phone back. Let her sort out her sorry. Sergey greets me at his bachelor pad. A 2-room flat cluttered with tools on the sofa, a perpetual pan on the stove. Smells of fried potatoes and motor oil. So, family man crawling back? He grins, but his eyes are serious. Sergey is 3 years younger than me but looks older. Stubble, wrinkles around his eyes, calloused hands. An auto mechanic, like me, but single, childless. Free, as he likes to put it. Screw the jokes. I grunt, dropping my bag in the corner. I'll crash here for a couple days. Stay as long as you want. He shrugs, setting a beer mug before me. Tell me what happened. I take a sip, wincing. It's warm, stale. But I talk anyway. Briefly, skipping details. About Dasha, about Misha, about how she looked at me in the cafe like I was a stranger. Sergei listens, spinning a lighter in his hands, clicking the lid. Well, your Dasha is dumb, he says finally. You'd move mountains for her. And she goes running to some Misha. Accountant, you said? Bet he couldn't even hammer a nail. She might not need nails, I answer softly. She needed someone to listen. And I guess I wasn't talking enough. Talked or not, women are puzzles. Sergei waves dismissively. 1 minute they want one thing, next they're wanting something else. Listen, why don't you confront this Misha? Man to man? I shake my head. No, I won't. What would I say? Give me back my wife. Ridiculous. Besides, he wouldn't give her back. She left willingly, not physically, but emotionally. The night drags heavily. Lying on the sagging couch, listening to Sergei snore behind the wall, thinking about Anna. 8 years old, currently at my mother's house. What do I tell her? Mom and Dad fought. Or the truth? No, the truth isn't allowed. She's Dasha's mirror image. Same light hair, same stubborn look. For her, I've always been a hero. Fixes cars, brings candy, chases pigeons off the balcony. How do I remain a hero when everything at home has collapsed? In the morning, I call Mom. She senses instantly that something's wrong. Motherly instinct, damn it. Vlad, what's happening with you and Dasha? Her tone is strict but worried. At 62, gray-haired but upright like a teenager, she's loved both of us unconditionally. Even when we argued, she'd mediate. I'll explain later, Mom. I brush her off. How's Anna doing? Anna's fine, playing with dolls, but asking when you'll come. Vlad, stop beating around the bush. What's wrong? We split up temporarily, I managed to say. I'm at Sergei's. Dasha's at home. Mom falls silent. Then exhales heavily, audibly shaking her head. 10 years wasted, she declares eventually. Talk to her again. At least for Anna's sake. I'll try. I promise, though deep down I doubt it'll change anything. The day stretches endlessly. I take time off work, sit at Sergei's, staring blankly at the TV. There's some melodrama on. A woman sobbing, a man shouting, then embracing. I switch it off. Reality nauseates enough already. At lunchtime, Dasha calls. I hesitate, staring at the screen, then reluctantly accept the call. Vlad, we need to meet. Her voice is tired but determined. Today. In the park, near the fountain. 6 o'clock. Why? I ask, feeling the lump return to my throat. Just show up. She pauses, then adds. Please. I agree. Not because I want to, but because I can't resist. She's part of me. Even after everything. At 6, I'm by the fountain. The park is mostly empty except for a pair of elderly ladies on a bench and a dog bounding around in the distance. Dasha arrives 5 minutes later. Wearing the coat I gave her 3 years ago and a scarf knitted by Mom. She stops a few steps away, gazing at me. Red-rimmed eyes, dry lips. I spent the whole night thinking, she begins abruptly, and realized what I've done, Vlad. What exactly did you do? I ask, heart thudding wildly. I ended it with Misha, she says quietly but firmly. Told him this morning. He didn't argue either. Afterward, I sat there and understood it's not right. Not mine. You're mine, Vlad. And Anna. And I'm such a fool, aren't I? I stay silent. Watch her twist the edge of her scarf, bite her lip. See the girl I met 10 years ago, lost, genuine mine. A fool. I agree, my voice quivering. But I could have noticed earlier that you were hurting. She walks toward me, and I don't step aside. Hugs tightly like before. And I feel something inside letting go. Not all at once, not entirely, but letting go. We'll manage, won't we? She whispers into my shoulder. Yes, I answer, believing it for the first time in these past days. Wind rustles through bare branches, the fountain gurgles, and we stand in the middle of the park like two idiots who almost lost each other. I know the road back will be long, but we'll walk it together. Because Anna waits. We stay by the fountain for another 10 minutes, silent, simply holding each other. Water splashes, reflecting lanterns, and there's something calming in its sound, like breathing after a long run. Dasha presses closer against me, and I feel the warmth of her cheek through my jacket fabric. My head is empty. No anger, no resentment, only fatigue and strange relief. As if a storm passed, leaving damp earth and silence. Shall we go home? She asks finally, pulling back slightly, meeting my eyes. There's no more sharp pain in her gaze, as there was in the cafe, but a shadow of guilt remains. I know it won't disappear easily, for neither of us. Yes, I nod. First, let's pick up Anna from Mom's. She must have talked her ears off about us. Dasha smiles weakly, and I notice her lips tremble. She nods, takes my arm, and we walk to the car. Our footsteps echo loudly on the pavement. The wind flings tiny droplets from the fountain into our faces, but I'm no longer cold. Next to her, I'm not cold. Mom greets us at the doorway with a look ready to embrace or scold. Hands clutching a towel, an old habit since childhood whenever she's anxious. Finally, she says, eyeing both of us alternately, Anna's been asking where you are. Come in, I'll boil water for tea. No need, Mom. I begin, but she waves it off. Necessary. Both of you look exhausted. It's scary to look at. Anna, come here, Dad and Mom arrived. From the room bursts Anna, in bunny pajamas, hair tousled, carrying a doll missing a leg. She runs to me, wraps her arms around my legs, then switches to hugging Dasha. Where were you? She demands, her voice clear and bell-like. Grandma said you were busy, but I waited. We sorted things out. Dasha kneels, smoothing her hair, and I see her fingers tremble slightly. Now we're home. Anna watches us suspiciously, but then smiles and tugs Dasha into the room to show her drawing of a dog. I linger in the hallway with Mom. She gives me a long look, and I know the lecture is coming. Vlad, are you certain things will improve? She asks quietly, careful not to let Anna hear. I love Dasha like a daughter, but if she pulled something like this... I'm certain, Mom. I interrupt. Not quickly, but they'll improve. We are both guilty, and both willing to fix it. She snorts, but doesn't argue further. Simply nods and heads to the kitchen, muttering something about boiling water. I stand there, watching Dasha and Anna giggle over the drawing, realizing that it's worth trying, for them. Home feels strangely quiet. Anna fell asleep in the car, and I carry her upstairs to bed. Dasha follows, taking off her coat, tossing it on a chair, like when we first started living together. I tuck Anna into bed, cover her with a blanket, and Dasha stands in the doorway watching. Then approaches, perches on the edge of the mattress, arranging Anna's hair gently. Won't she find out? She whispers anxiously. Not a word, I whisper back. This is ours. Let her grow up unaware. Dasha nods, and I see her shoulders loosen. We leave the bedroom, leaving the door ajar, as usual, so we can hear if Anna calls. In the kitchen, Dasha sets the kettle, and I sit at the table, observing her. Different, neither the woman from the cafe nor the one who left for Misha. Yet still mine. And I'm changed too, not the Vlad who waved off her exhaustion, assuming everything would resolve itself. "Will you forgive me?" she suddenly asks, not turning around while pouring water into cups. I'm silent for a moment. 2 seconds pass. Then I stand, approach her, lay my hands on her shoulders. She freezes, waiting. "I'll forgive if you forgive me," I say, my voice raspy. "For not seeing, not hearing." "Forgiven," she whispers. "And you?" "Me too." I nod, and we stand there until the kettle starts whistling. Night passes peacefully. For the first time in weeks, we sleep in the same bed, facing each other. Dasha breathes evenly, her hand resting on my shoulder, and I feel warmth spreading through my chest. Morning wakes us with Anna bursting into the room, screaming, "Dad, Mom, wake up! I'm hungry!" We laugh quietly, to avoid disturbing neighbors, and I realize this is the beginning. Not an ending, but a new start. Misha becomes a distant memory, fading like shadows in sunlight. Dasha changes, talks more often, looks me directly in the eye. I learn to listen, pay attention. Sometimes catch myself getting angry when remembering, but then glance at Anna, at Dasha, and let it go. Because family isn't a perfect picture. It's cracks we patch ourselves. And we're patching them. Day by day. A month later, Dasha brings home flowers, just because, no special reason. Places them in a vase, smiles, and says, "This is for you. To remind you that I'm here." And I know. We both know.